Hey, welcome to Diplomacy and International Relations. Today we're looking at something really interesting, a real paradox. Why is it that a country that's always at the top of the happiest places on Earth lists is also one of the hardest for outsiders to really settle into? If you're into the cultural DNA that shapes how countries work, you're going to want to stick around. And hey, if you like what we're doing here, do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Okay, so look at this. On one hand, Denmark is seen as this amazing place to live. I mean, it's a huge draw for talented people from all over the globe. But then, for so many folks who actually make the move, the reality on the ground feels, well, different. It doesn't quite live up to that perfect picture. So that gets us to the big question we're asking today. Why is it so tough for people to feel at home in a country that seems to have it all figured out? All right, so first up, let's talk about the Danish dream. What's the big deal? What makes it so attractive to professionals from literally everywhere? I mean, when you look at it on paper, it really does look like paradise. The quality of life is just world class. That whole work-life balance thing, it's not just some corporate buzzword. It's baked right into the culture. Public services, they run like a dream. It's a society that really, truly prioritizes family, progressive values, and keeping the environment clean. And at the heart of its economy and work culture is this really unique idea called flexicurity. Think of it like this. It's a clever mix of giving employers flexibility in the job market while also making sure employees have a really strong social safety net. This model is absolutely key to understanding how Denmark manages to have both a dynamic economy and incredible social welfare. Okay, but this is where the plot thickens. In spite of all these amazing structural benefits, a lot of international folks run into a major, very human problem: feeling socially isolated. And what that leads to is something people call the expatriate bubble. You know, newcomers find it super easy to make friends with other foreigners, but they really struggle to build real relationships with local Danes. It kind of leaves them feeling like they're living in a totally separate, parallel society. And this quote here really hits the nail on the head. An expert on the culture points out that the issue isn't that Danes are unfriendly, it's that the social rulebook is just different, and foreigners often end up misreading the signals. So that leads to the really big question, right? If it's not personal, then what's going on culturally? What are these unwritten rules that are driving this whole situation? To really get what's happening here, you have to decode the cultural software, the core ideas that basically run Danish social life. So I'm sure you've heard of hygge, right? That classic Danish idea of being cozy and content. And it's a huge part of well-being for Danes, for sure. But here's the thing. Because it's so focused on these small, private get-togethers with people you already know and trust, it can actually feel like a closed door to newcomers. And then there's this other massive concept, janteloven, or the law of Jante. This is a really powerful, unwritten social code that says the group is more important than the individual. It's all about humility, and showing off or promoting yourself is a big no-no. So you take all that, and you add a few more things. A really sharp line between your public life and your private life, a deep respect for privacy that can easily look like coldness to an outsider, and a model for friendship that's built for the long haul, deep trust, not just casual hangouts. You're looking at a culture that's built for stability, not necessarily for easy-breezy social connections. Okay, so the code is definitely complex, but it's not impossible to crack. So how does a newcomer actually navigate all this and make some real connections? Well, what experts say is that you need a major shift in how you see things. What feels distant, try to see it as respect for privacy. You have to understand that building trust is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes patience, it takes showing up consistently. And yeah, most Danes speak incredible English, but making an effort to learn some Danish, that sends a huge signal that you're committed. And this all leads us to what might just be the most powerful strategy for fitting in Denmark. It's a concept that's just woven right into the fabric of the nation. The key, so often, is understanding foreningslife. This is basically the lifeblood of the Danish community. It's the culture of clubs and associations. It's where Danes connect with each other based on things they love to do, whether it's sports, hobbies, you name it. This table kind of lays it all out. Sure, professional networks are great for your career. And yeah, community groups can help you meet other newcomers, but the real magic happens in the voluntary associations, the local sports club, the knitting group, whatever. That's where you're most likely to build real, authentic friendships with Danes because you're bonding over something you both genuinely care about. And this quote really sums it all up perfectly.
You don't charm your way into a Danish friend group. You earn your way in. It's about being consistent, showing up, and proving you're reliable over time.
And that leaves us with one last big thought, especially when we think about international relations in our globalized world. The very things that make Danish society so incredibly stable and trusting, those deep roots, those tight-knit communities, are the exact same things that make it a challenge for a modern mobile workforce. So the question is that a bug or a feature? Is that a problem that needs to be fixed? Or is the prize of actually becoming part of a community like that worth all the effort? Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer. If you found this useful, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. And be sure to subscribe to Diplomacy and International Relations for more analysis on the cultures and systems that are shaping our world. We'll see you next time.